The JoLynn Braley Show, episode number 117, the top 3 signs of a 5-star weight loss coach. Welcome back to the JoLynn Braley Show, or welcome if this is your first time here. My name is JoLynn Braley, permanent weight loss coach, founder of the Inner Self Diet, the kick-ass amazing inner self diet that is not a diet. What the heck does that mean? That means that the Inner Self Diet is not a food program. It is not an exercise program. Instead, what it does is it goes deep into the psychology behind the problem that has made your body fat. So the Inner Self Diet heals the root of your unhealthy, out of control eating behaviors that has caused you to gain weight. And then the really cool thing is that once the root of those unhealthy behaviors is healed, then healthy behaviors can replace the old unhealthy fat behaviors. And then guess what happens? Then it is easy to live a healthy lifestyle, drop the fat, and keep it off. Because after doing the Inner Self Diet, there's no more binge eating, there's no more emotional eating, there's no more fighting with yourself, there's no more food obsessions, there's no more fear about the scale or fear about food or fear that another shoe or the next shoe is going to drop and you're going to gain all the weight back. Because when you heal the root of this problem, there is no more problem. Then you can just live healthy and fit and do the stuff that you already know logically you need to do in order to lose weight and keep it off. You know, the stuff like healthy eating, healthy exercise, drinking plenty of water, getting the right amount of rest every night, and the proper kind of rest, deep sleep, planning your meals ahead, cooking your whole foods, eating only when hungry, stopping when physically full, all of the things that logically you already know you should be doing, but you're not able to do them because you haven't healed the root of what drives your unhealthy behaviors that you're stuck in. Is this making sense? Are you getting it? So instead of just putting a Band-Aid on a symptom, the Inner Self Diet goes to the root of the problem, heals that, fixes that, and then you are set free. You gain the freedom that you deeply desire so that it's not a big deal to do the healthy stuff that you got to do to allow your body to drop the fat and keep it off. Then you really are free. It's no more of this doing a new diet every Monday or making yourself use willpower, because willpower doesn't work. The only reason that you would need to use willpower is when you are fighting against the struggle within yourself. And when that struggle within yourself has not been addressed and it has not been healed and released, then you will continue to struggle. You get it? Is it making sense? So, everything else out there, the food diets and the workout tips and all that stuff, those are just Band-Aids on a symptom. And the symptom is the fat on your body, and the symptom is your unhealthy eating behaviors. Now, let me just clarify something. I'm not saying that you can lose weight and keep it off without the healthy lifestyle behaviors, okay? But when you are trying to do things backwards, which is what everybody out there is doing, you're looking for the food tips, you're looking for the exercise tips, and you've never addressed the problem, the real problem of why your body became fat in the first place, then what you're doing is you're putting the cart before the horse, and the cart can't pull the horse. The horse has to pull the cart. So you get the horse running, and you solve any problems with the horse, and then it can pull the cart behind it. All right, is that making sense? And what needs to go in the cart behind the horse is the healthy eating, healthy exercise. Then that's the time to use all of that healthy food and exercise information that you've collected over how many years? Years and years and years, 10, 20, 30, 40 years. But that's only going to work if you first heal the horse. And the horse is you. It's your inner world. It's your thought patterns, your fat beliefs, your fat mindset, okay? Your fat way of thinking and speaking and eating, all right? Fat. What is fat? Let me clarify that for you in case you've never tuned into one of these episodes of the JoLynn Braley Show before. Fat is F-A-T, fear attracting thoughts. All right? If you didn't have fat fears, you wouldn't be struggling with extra fat on your body because you'd just be living a healthy lifestyle. So I don't know what specifically is stopping you from just losing weight and keeping it off. No big deal, no struggle, because I don't know who you are. I'm just talking to myself right now in my home office recording studio, and I have to have two-way real-time communication with my awesome permanent weight loss coaching clients in the Inner Self Diet in order to help them break free of their barriers and break free of their blind spots that they can't see. And I help them move through all of that stuff while they do my proven steps in the Inner Self Diet, and they break free of their unhealthy eating behaviors so that they are able to then just live healthy and fit, no big deal, drop the fat and keep it off. So that's the work that I've been doing since 2009. It works every time, but it only works if you do it. You know, just listening to me talk about this stuff, this is not the Inner Self Diet. This is my free weight loss podcast here on the JoLynn Braley Show. Now, if you'd like to learn just a little bit more, you could start by grabbing my free ebook, and you could get that at www.easyfunweightloss.com, www.easyfunweightloss.com. That's a very simple baby step that you could take to start learning a little bit more. Now, here on today's episode of the JoLynn Braley Show, we are covering the top 3 signs of a 5-star weight loss coach. Why? Because if you really want to bust through your disordered eating and your unhealthy behaviors and your unhealthy thinking, your inner self that is programmed to be fat, if you want to replace your inner self fat programming with fit, healthy, awesome, sexy, strong inner self programming, the fastest way to do all of this stuff is to work directly with the 5-star permanent weight loss coach and get it done. Coaching is the fastest way in any area of life to get to where you want to go. All right, so you're here on the JoLynn Braley Show podcast because you have a problem, you're frustrated, you're fed up, you're probably feeling powerless, shameful about your inability to stop overeating and lose weight and keep it off. So you've got shame, fear, powerlessness, maybe depression. You might even be angry with yourself. You might be hating your body, hating yourself, all kinds of negative emotion going on. And to get to this place where you're saying you want to be, where you are living at your ideal weight, where you're feeling fantastic in your own skin, where you are living with high self-confidence and high self-esteem, and you're not apologizing for looking your best, and you're living healthy and fit without a fight, Okay, you don't have to use willpower because living healthy and fit is just who you are. In order to get to that place as fast as possible, you get coaching to do it. It's that simple. That's what all of the most successful people on the planet do. Think of and name one highly successful person in any industry: music, writing, acting, sports, business, any area of life, parenting, okay? 5-star parents, all right? Anyone in any area, psychology, okay? Anyone who is highly successful, they have not gotten there alone. They have coaches and mentors. Do you know how many coaches an Olympic athlete has? They don't just have a body athletic coach, they've got mindset coaches, because mindset is 92.8% of the challenge. You could be a 10-star figure skater, but if you don't have the mindset and the confidence to get out on that ice and give a 10-star performance with the pressure and the possibly anxiety and all of the focus that you have to have, you've got to maintain out there on that ice. If you don't have the right mindset to do that performance, it does not matter if you give 10-star performances all by yourself in your practice arena. All right, mindset is 92.8% of the challenge. 92.8% of the challenge is mindset when it comes to successful weight loss. All right, so when you're just out there looking for food tips and exercise tips, you're missing 92.8% of the whole thing. And this might give you a light bulb moment right now as to why you have continued to struggle all of these years, even though you might know as much nutrition and healthy living information as a qualified, certified nutritionist. But that information doesn't do you any good if you're not able to do it and do it consistently and live it. Does this make sense? Information is not enough. You have to be able to implement it and stick with it and repeat it over and over and over, meal after meal after meal after meal, day after day, season after season. And when you can do that, and it's just not a big deal, it's just how you live, you enjoy it. It's not even something that you, you definitely don't fight it, and you don't sabotage yourself when you have solved what is 92.8% of your problem. Can you see how easy it would be for you to lose weight if you were to solve the inner self stuff, right? That's what I do with my coaching clients in the inner self diet. Okay, so let's get to these top 3 signs of a 5-star weight loss coach. Really, that should be a 5-star permanent weight loss coach. So that's one thing you want to look for right there. You don't want to be looking just for a weight loss coach, because more than likely you'll get a nutritionist or a fitness type of coach. Those are the types of coaches that you want to get after you have healed and repaired and transformed your inner self world, your inner self programming, okay? After you have gotten a weight loss mindset and on the inside you have become a match to the healthy, fit, awesome, sexy, fantastic, fit, strong body that you want to live in on the outside. After you have become that on the inside, then you want to get the personal trainer, the nutritionist, the basic physical weight loss coach. But in the beginning, if you want to, it depends on what you want. If all you want to do is lose weight and you're okay with gaining it back and doing the yo-yo dieting thing, and you're okay with struggling and fighting and continuing to battle binge eating, emotional eating, all that stress, then yeah, just take the physical route, because, you know, anybody can lose weight. You have probably lost weight before. All right? Anybody can do that. But it's not going to be struggle free and it's not going to last if you don't stop the madness and address what's going on inside of you and have a proven system to work with so that you've got a daily practice in place where you are taking action with specific steps that work, which is what I do with my coaching clients in the Inner Self Diet. They get all of the steps that they work like clockwork. They just start where they are and they follow my steps and it all works out. It's pretty cool. If what you want is permanent weight loss, like is what I'm talking about here, then you don't want to just look for a 5-star weight loss coach. You want to look for a 5-star permanent weight loss coach. All right, so that's not actually one of my top 3 signs, but write that down, okay? Save yourself some time and some grief and, a lot of struggle by going right to the heart of the matter, getting that fixed. And then the rest of it is going to be easy peasy. The rest of it, if you want to get a personal trainer, if you want to get a nutritionist, that stuff will be no big deal. Once you have transformed the stuff within your inner self that is causing you to keep binge eating, emotional eating, staying addicted to food, afraid to change, afraid to leave your comfort zone, afraid to lose your best friend, which is food, whatever it is that is stopping you and holding you back, that is the stuff that needs to be transformed. And then the rest will be easy. I think I've said this like 3 times, so let's move on. All right, so the top 3 signs of a 5-star permanent weight loss coach. Number 1, you got to find the 5-star permanent weight loss coach who will tell you the frickin' truth. I'm serious. It's not always going to be easy, but you've got to have somebody who has the balls to be willing to be brave, to tell you when they hear an excuse or a roadblock or a blind spot. You gotta get, this is a 5-star permanent weight loss coach, the one who is going to be willing to tell you the truth. All right? Anything less than that, and your transformation will be spread out over I don't know how many years. All right? My coaching clients achieve struggle-free weight loss in 8 weeks or less, but I have the guts and the commitment to tell them the truth. But that's why they hire me too. They know that. They don't want someone who is going to sugarcoat things and just virtually pat them on the head and say, oh, everything's going to be okay. You're just fluffy. You're beautiful. Everything's fine. They don't want that. They also, it's not the 5-star permanent weight loss coach who will tell you the truth. It's done with full respect. The whole purpose is to help you get to where you want to go as fast as possible. For example, I have had many coaching clients who, they all have some kind of fears. They've got very negative, limiting beliefs standing in their way and excuses. And it's very easy for me to spot these things because maybe I'm good at what I do, but also I'm willing to go with the boing, and the boing is what stands out to me. I'm also an intuitive coach. I have several skills that I bring to the table when I'm working with my awesome permanent weight loss coaching clients in the Inner Self Diet. But I'm willing to share with them what I hear and what stands out to me. But they also give me permission. They want me to share it. So when I hear the excuse, I will share that with them. Hey, this sounds like an excuse. This is what I'm hearing. What do you think? And then, they'll always say, oh yeah, I didn't even realize that, but I say that a lot, and I could see where I also use that same excuse in this area of life, in this area of life, in this area of life. And then the next step is, okay, so which inner self diet tool will help you transform this so that you can get beyond it? And then let's do this, da da da, whatever it is. And then they can take action with that and get beyond that, because you got to have tools to work with. Coaching is not therapy. Coaching is not just talking about things and pointing things out. It's like, okay, so here's a problem. All right, so now here's a tool to work with so that you could fix it. And let's go forward. Does that sound good? Yay! Yeah, it's all good. Number 2 sign of a 5-star permanent weight loss coach, you got to look at results, okay? Results are all that matter. Results are all that matter. You will cost yourself results if what you're focused on is a title or how many years the permanent weight loss coach has been coaching clients, okay? You have to look at the results that a 5-star permanent weight loss coach has helped her clients get who all came before you. And if the results that her previous graduates of her coaching program, if those results that they have gotten are the same kinds of results that you want, then that's a sign of a 5-star permanent weight loss coach. All right. So for example, my coaching clients in the Inner Self Diet, they end binge eating, they end emotional eating, they end their self-doubts, or if they still have self-doubts that come up, then they've got tools to work through those instead of using food to feel better. Okay. They break through their barriers that used to send them to the refrigerator, and instead they get the tools to move through their uncomfortable emotions without using food. Because see, the thing is that there is nothing on the planet, the Inner Self Diet included, there's nothing that is going to make your life perfect, and there's nothing that is going to take away all negativity and all negative emotions. Instead, what the Inner Self Diet does is it gives my clients the tools and the power to be in their power no matter what comes up in their life, so that they can move through the negative experiences without abusing themselves with food and overeating. Just imagine if you could do that. No matter what happens in your life, if you could go through it without gaining weight, without trying to stuff down your negative emotions, without binge eating, without emotional eating, that is the true freedom. Because you're never going to be perfect. You can't control other people. You can only learn how to control your mind and your emotional state so that you are then free of this drama or struggle, whatever you want to call it, with this food and weight topic. You're going to have to eat food because you've got a human body. But when you could transform your relationship with food into a healthy relationship, and you could just live a healthy lifestyle no matter what time of year it is and no matter what's going on, then you're totally free. Those are the kinds of results that my permanent weight loss coaching clients get from the Inner Self Diet. So when you are looking for a 5-star permanent weight loss coach, you need to look at the results that her clients get. And if those results are what you want, then you know that you're in the right place, because obviously that 5-star permanent weight loss coach must have the tools and the wherewithal and the skill and the training and the ability to help you get to where you want to go. If you're willing to go there, you have to be willing. You have to be willing to step up to the plate for yourself. But that's all on your end. All right, what we're looking at here are the top 3 signs of a 5-star permanent weight loss coach. All right. Okay, number 3 sign of a 5-star permanent weight loss coach. She focuses on solving the real problem rather than putting a Band-Aid on a symptom. All right. So just like what I do with my awesome clients, my coaching clients in the Inner Self Diet, I am focused on helping them solve the real problem. We're not putting a Band-Aid on top of a symptom. And what are their symptoms? The symptoms that my coaching clients come to me with are overweight, okay, excess fat on their body. Another symptom is their unhealthy eating behaviors. Another symptom is their past experiences, their past results that they've gotten from all of the different diets and things that they have tried to solve this problem. Okay, these are all symptoms. And a Band-Aid would be, okay, so here, eat this for breakfast, eat this for lunch, eat this for dinner, do this kind of workout. That would be a Band-Aid to my coaching clients because that would not fix what made them gain weight in the first place. What made them gain weight in the first place, it's the disordered eating. It's the unhealthy relationship with food. It's their mental state. It's their psychology. It's their inner self programming. That is the stuff that needs to be transformed. And then this other part, the 7.2%, which is healthy eating and healthy exercise, that'll be easy to do. All right? The healthy eating and exercise, that's just a series of, you could call it a recipe, call it instructions, call it a roadmap. You find that anywhere. Now, of course, you want to make sure that if you are following a healthy eating plan, you want to make sure it's healthy and you're getting good nutrition, high octane fuel for your physical form, your physical body. All right. That's all very important. But that information and that roadmap doesn't matter if you haven't fixed what made you fat in the first place. That's like the easiest way I could say it. Does that make sense? Are you getting it? All right. So you got to put the horse before the cart. The horse is you. The cart is the healthy way of eating, the healthy exercise, all of that physical stuff. Does that make sense? Okay? It's totally backwards to do it the other way. That's why you can't complete this process. That's why you're still struggling. That's why you're still listening to my voice here on my free weight loss podcast. Okay? If you weren't still listening to my voice, this is just a sign that you've got a problem that needs fixing. And that's okay. Everybody has some kind of problem. Everyone. And that's why there are so many wonderful professionals out there to help you solve your problems. And then there's also other people that they don't necessarily have the solution that will fix the real problem, but they could give you several series of Band-Aids that could help you get a little bit of a shift, but those little Band-Aids are never going to go to the root of the real problem and heal that. All right? So it all depends on what you want. It all depends on what kind of results you want. If you're okay with just doing a few little Band-Aid things here and there and getting an instant shift and then, still struggling long term, then that's cool. That's your choice. It is your life. But if you want to actually heal the real problem, that's different. Then you want to get a 5-star permanent weight loss coach because you're also going to need a step-by-step proven system to follow, a system that's already put together for you with steps that have already worked for all the people who came before you who had the same kinds of struggles as you. And you got to have accountability built into that. You must have two-way real-time communication with your 5-star coach. All right? You got to have that. So you got to be working directly over the phone with them. You have to have the 5-star permanent weight loss coach who can spot your limiting beliefs, who is highly skilled at noticing the blind spots that you can't even see right now. All right, and this has to do with language pattern, it has to do with energy, it has to do with repetition in the way that you speak, the words there's a whole lot that goes into this. All right, and none of this is anything that can be figured out logically because it's not a logical problem. That's why all of these years that you have spent trying to analyze yourself and analyze this problem and fix it on your own, that's why it hasn't worked. It can't be fixed logically because it's not a logical problem. And that's something that all of my coaching clients in the Inner Self Diet learn because the steps I take them through are not logical steps and they work. So that's pretty cool. It is time for a commercial break here on the JoLynn Braley Show, and today's sponsor of the JoLynn Braley Show is my free ebook. In my free ebook, you can learn 3 simple steps to start making weight loss easier from the inside out. These are not food or exercise tips. These are tips to help you from the inside out to start addressing, just on a very, baby step level, start addressing what's going on inside of you and apply the steps, and then start having an easier time with this whole weight loss thing, this whole weight loss issue, right? And you can get my free ebook over at www.easyfunweightloss.com. That's www.easyfunweightloss.com. Go grab that now. All right, a couple questions to ask yourself on each episode of the JoLynn Braley Show. I give you some questions to ask yourself. I highly recommend you write them pen on paper because there is a connection that occurs between the head, the hand, and the heart when you write pen on paper. You don't get that connection if you type on a keyboard. You don't get that connection if you only listen to my voice. You get no connection if you just listen to my voice. All you do, words can go in one ear, out the other. You might retain a very, very small amount of what I've been sharing, but if you actually get pen and paper and you write each of these questions down and then you write your answer down, it could give you some insight into yourself. Why not get the biggest shift possible out of this completely free weight loss podcast? Just see what kind of ahas you can get. Hey, I don't know, maybe you won't get any ahas, but at least give it a shot, Grab pen and paper, and then you can pause this podcast when you need more time to write. All right, first question. Have I ever addressed the real problem that has made my body fat? Have I ever actually addressed the real problem that has made my body fat? Now, this doesn't mean you know what the real problem is, but have you ever even attempted? Have you gotten any kind of coaching? Have you done any kind of inner self? Well, you haven't done the inner self diet if you've never done the inner self diet. That's just, how it is. Because you've either done the inner self diet or you haven't. And if you've done the inner self diet, then you're just listening to me talk because you just want to hear my voice. And that is cool. Hey, send me an email and tell me your update. Tell me how you're doing. Okay, have I ever addressed the real problem that has made my body fat? Yes or no? All right? You either have or you haven't. Okay? Number 2 question. How many Band-Aids have I tried to apply to my symptoms? Okay? How many Band-Aids have I tried to apply to my symptoms? And here's where you can make a list of all of the food diets, all of the exercise programs, all of the exercise equipment, all of the workout gear, all of the New Year's resolutions, all of the times that you've told yourself you start again on Monday, all of the kitchen gadgets that you've bought to try to make yourself live healthy, anything and everything that you've done, which has really been just a Band-Aid if you answered no to the first question because you really haven't ever addressed the real problem. You haven't gone deep. And by the way, these questions are not an opportunity for you to beat yourself up or anything like that. This is just about opening up your self-awareness to what kind of path have you been on here with this food and weight problem. Because if you've been taking the path of the Band-Aids and you've never actually addressed the real problem that has made your body fat, and whatever that real problem is, that's what has been driving your out of control eating. All right? So if you haven't done the inner self diet work to heal the real problem, then you know that you've only been applying Band-Aids. And the aha that you can get out of writing these questions and writing your answers is, if you wanted to choose to stop taking the Band-Aid route and actually just fix what keeps you in struggle, then you'd be able to live the rest of your life in freedom from this drama. Does that make sense? Okay? Because otherwise, if you keep going with the Band-Aids, what kind of results are you going to get? Well, you know what kind of results you'll get, because all you have to do is look at your past results. All right? But follow through with this second question. Write down anything and everything you've ever done to attempt to lose weight, and notice that they're all Band-Aids if none of them have anything to do with addressing the root of the problem, healing that in your inner self to set yourself free. Okay? Does that make sense? All right. Number 3 question. And of course, just pause this podcast if you need more time. What am I going to do now? Am I going to keep going the Band-Aid route, or am I actually going to make the commitment to myself, recognize that I'm worth it, that my life is worth it, that my body is worth it, that my self-esteem is worth it, that my confidence is worth it, that my dream for my real life is worth it? Am I going to go for it and find that 5-star permanent weight loss coach and heal the root of the real problem? You know, just like what I do with my coaching clients in the inner self diet. So what you're asking yourself here, the question to write down, what am I going to do next? What is my decision? And you can't get out of making a decision. If you write down that your decision is to think about it, you have decided to keep doing what you're doing. That's your decision. So you're either deciding to keep doing what you're doing and keep going as you have been, or you're deciding to stop the struggle. Well, you're not going to be able to stop the struggle right away until you heal the root of the problem. But you can decide to stop this same path that you've been on and get the help you need so you can get out of this pickle as fast as possible and set yourself free. Are you getting this? Is it making sense? Okay, so number 3 question, what is my decision now? What am I going to do going forward? Am I going to keep doing what I've always done and just look at this podcast here as, wow, that was really interesting. That was a way different podcast than anybody else out there who's talking about weight loss. Wow, that was cool. And I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. Or are you going to take this as a wake-up call and say, shit, man, I gotta heal the root of the real problem. I gotta fix the real problem. And the real problem is not the fat on my body. The real problem is not even my overeating. The real problem is definitely not the food. The real problem is what is within me that keeps me in this pattern of unhealthy eating and unhealthy living and unhealthy thinking and unhealthy mindset, unhealthy inner self-programming. It's the root of that stuff, all of this, that needs to be fixed. And then I will be free, because then I won't be doing this bullshit anymore, right? Because doesn't it feel like bullshit? Doesn't it feel so frustrating? I've been there before. I know what it feels like. Don't you just feel so frustrated with yourself because you know logically what you need to be doing to lose weight and keep it off, and you're not doing it? You can't stop eating. You can't stop binging. You can't stop using food to try to feel better, okay? the real problem has to be fixed if you're ever going to be free of those behaviors. All right? Are you getting this? Am I making sense? Is it clear? Mindset is 92.8% of the challenge. All right? It's 92.8% of the challenge. If you don't address your inner world, you will continue to struggle if you just keep going the Band-Aid route and looking for more instant miracle food tips and exercise programs and whatever. All right? The healthy diet and exercise information works when you work it, but you can only work it and work it struggle-free if you've addressed your inner world first and fixed that. All right? Number 4 question. Who is my 5-star permanent weight loss coach? Who have I hired? Who is holding me accountable, helping me stay accountable to myself? Who is willing to tell me the truth? Who is my 5-star permanent weight loss coach in my corner right now who I am having 2-way real-time communication with? Who is that? If you don't have a 5-star permanent weight loss coach in your corner, why not? What are you afraid of? Do you believe you're not worth it? Are you afraid of looking at yourself? Are you afraid of change? Are you afraid to change how you eat because food is your only friend? All right, what are you afraid of? Make that the next question. Okay, if you don't have a 5-star permanent weight loss coach, why? What are all of your fears? And write them all down. And then the last question, I think this is number 6. I lost count. But the last question is, okay, after you write all of your fears down, obviously you need to pause this podcast to do all this. But after you write every fear down that is stopping you from hiring a 5-star permanent weight loss coach, because if you do that, you're going to fix this stuff. All right? You can actually have struggle-free weight loss if you fix this stuff, if you fix the real problem. And the right 5-star permanent weight loss coach will help you do that. Just look at her results. Look at who's come before you. All right? So after you've written down all those fears, then the last question is, so what's my decision? Am I going to make my fears more important than my dream that I have of living in my body that I want to live in at my ideal weight? Wearing the cute clothes I want to wear, feeling great in my own skin, looking my best. What's more important to me? My dream of looking my best at my ideal weight, being free of the unhealthy eating behaviors? Am I going to make that dream more important, or am I going to make my fears more important? Because if you make your fears more important, then you won't get the help you need. You will not hire the 5-star permanent weight loss coach, and you will just continue to do what you've always done. And there you go. Whatever you do now and whatever you decide now is creating who you're going to be 6 months from now. So if your decision is to make your fears more important than your dream of being at your ideal weight and staying there, if you choose to make your fears more important, then you already know what kind of results you're going to get, because nothing is going to change. You know, get real. Nothing will change. It will just get worse. Unfortunately, these things don't go away. The more you eat to stuff down your uncomfortable emotions, that doesn't make those emotions go away. They just continue to pile up, and they are in you. And then it's just easy to keep packing on more physical fat the more you try to stuff down what you're afraid to deal with. So, you know, it's all up to you. It's your life, whatever you want to do with it. You could break free of this stuff. It'd be really easy to do if you just get the right coaching. Or you can keep going as you are. Whatever you do, that's just, you know, for you to decide, and just take personal responsibility for it, because you're the only one who can decide your outcomes in your life. You're the only one who can step up for you That's all it comes down to. All right, so we have covered a lot on today's episode here on the JoLynn Braley Show. And by the way, hey, I didn't even tell you this. If you would love to stop wondering why you're so smart and successful, but you've never been able to fix this food and weight thing on your own, if you'd love to actually have the results that I've told you about here today, if you'd love to actually get this problem fixed, okay? You have used pen and paper, you've written down all these questions I gave you, you wrote down all of your answers, and your decision at the end is that you are choosing to make your dream of your ideal body and your ideal life more important than your fears, okay? If that's your decision and you are excited about getting this problem fixed, you're excited about working with the right coach who may be able to help you. I'm not saying that I can help you. I could tell you how we could find out though, because I don't know who you are. I have no idea who you are. And I would never be able to say, oh yeah, I could definitely help you. I don't even know who you are. Okay? Who knows? I don't know. But here is your next step if you want to find out. You would need to go over to www.discovery-session.com, www.discovery-session.com. That's discovery-session.com. And then you need to opt in, and then on the next page you would get an application to fill out. You'd have to fill out that full application and submit it, and then you would know that you would have submitted it because you'll get a page where it says yay, and then apply to get on a one-on-one phone call with me, a complimentary weight loss discovery session. And I'd want to find out, what is your dream? What is it that you want to do? What are your fears that are stopping you? How many years have you been struggling with this problem? I'd have some questions to ask you. I'd want to find out for sure if or how I could help you. We would have to have a two-way real-time communication and find out, would it be a good mutual fit for you to be in the inner self diet and for me to coach you through my proven steps so that you could end your binge eating and your emotional eating, your self-sabotage, whatever it is that's been stopping you from just losing weight and keeping it off without a struggle, without it being any big deal. So that's your first step. If you're really excited about this and you're very serious, go over to www.discovery-session.com. I almost ended the podcast without telling you that you could do that. All right, so next week's episode on the JoLynn Braley Show, that will be episode number 118, and we are going to explode the myth of they can eat whatever they want. Those people that you look at and they're slender and fit, and you have this thought in your head that they can eat whatever they want. I'm going to explode that myth. So that'll be an excellent episode. But hey, don't wait just to listen to that. If you're serious about putting an end to your battles with your overeating and your overweight, go over to www.discovery-session.com right now. There is no time to waste with this stuff, because the longer that you delay, the longer that you wait, the easier it is to just keep gaining weight, because it's your comfort zone. You got to take decisive action now if you really are serious about creating a wonderful new life and body for yourself. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in today. This is JoLynn Braley, permanent weight loss coach, founder of the empowering, the amazing inner self diet, the diet that is not a diet, the diet that actually works. It's pretty cool. And I wish you your best life while living inside of your ideal body.